Welcome to Comic Book Overview, where everyone can come and indulge in all things comic related, whether it be movies, TV shows, cartoons, video games, or just comics themselves. If you love comic books, then show it by hitting that subscribe button to help this precious media that we all love thrive and flourish. Right off the bat, before we get started with this review, I would just like to state that I am not a fan of short stories in comics. I feel that they never leave room for character development, and by their nature are too short for readers to get attached to the characters, and therefore truly care for what happens to them. This issue is somewhat of a Marvel Comics Present title. The only difference here is that all three stories center around the same character, Wolverine, but in totally different time periods of his life. I would say right now that if it wasn't for the first story, I would recommend not even bothering with this issue, as I thought it was pretty much a waste of time. But for the sake of fairness, I will at least talk about the first story titled The Amazing Immortal Man, because I found it somewhat enjoyable. The story takes place in the 1930s, somewhere in Greenland, Kansas. Logan has to be approximately 40 years old by now, using the information in the Origin series as a barometer. Having been captured as a wild animal, he now is the circus's main attraction. For the audience amusement, he is stabbed with stakes, mauled by lions, and impaled on a bed of nails, only to miraculously heal and do it all over again the next day. The show becomes so popular, in fact, that it draws the attention of all nearby residents, leaving the local towns empty. With no one guarding the banks, Max the circus owner decides to use the time while everyone is watching Logan fight lions in a steel cage match to rob the banks. But there's one dilemma. A woman that Logan's in love with named Olga is in labor with a child that was conceived by another man, I have you know. It seems that the idea of Wolverine falling in love with other man's women is going to be an ongoing theme in his life. Anyway, Logan refuses to put the show on if she is not rushed to a nearby hospital to deliver the baby. And therein lies the dilemma. Does Max call off the job worth in the millions for a baby delivery? Or does he let Olga deliver the baby on the road while he commits the heist, knowing that the immortal man will seek revenge on him if he does so? To find out the answer, I will let you read this issue for yourself. The other two subsequent stories that follow, I wouldn't even recommend you waste your time on, unless you had nothing else better to read and you were stuck on an airplane with no in-flight movie. I like this story for two reasons. One, the date chronicles what Wolverine was doing with his life at this time. And two, it shows the irony of man and beast. Max is the human, and Logan is supposed to be the animal in this story. But it is Logan that takes into consideration a person's well-being over the greed of money, leaving the reader to ask who in the story is really the animal and who truly has a sense of humanity. I give this short read a ranking of 3.0 out of 5. A good read. Well, that's it for now. If you like this video, please share it. Tap that bell icon on your way out. And oh yes, until next time, keep reading, my friends.